Hello, everybody. This is Catholic Dad, episode number 315, Stand Between Good and Evil. Happy Holy Mother of God Day. This is January 1st. Happy New Year. This is a holy day of obligation, so if you miss Mass today, I would remind you that that's a grave and mortal sin, missing a holy day of obligation, and to get the confession so you can partake in the Eucharist in the future. So stand between good and evil. My father was NYPD. He was a ghetto cop in the Bronx for approximately 20 years, and then he was a lieutenant in the Village in Manhattan. But he used to tell me something. He used to say, "Hey, kid, criminals are opportunists. Get it?" So meaning that criminals, people who are inclined to criminal activity, are looking for opportunity. That's what they're looking for. They don't want to get caught. They don't want to be in battle. They don't want to have fights. They want to like rip you off. They want to steal things from you. They want to, they want to take advantage of people who are not fortified against, their violation of the other person's rights. And so when I say criminals of opportunists, they look for opportunity. And so what we do, and actually the Austrians have another way of saying this. They say, never tempt an honest man. Meaning, don't leave your doors unlocked. Don't leave like money on the counter at your house. Don't leave your wallet on a car seat in a parking lot. Things like that, because honest people, they're honest. But if you put a temptation or opportunity in front of them, as the NYPD officer would say, some people may actually fall and take it, and take the opportunity and do criminal activity. And so, the world and how we live. It's a balance of this good and evil. It's a balance of doing the right thing and not doing the right thing, taking the opportunity and actually like having the intrinsic checks and balance in your own life to not take the opportunity. And that we need to fortify ourselves against those who are inclined to take opportunity. And it doesn't just help us and help our family members, but it also helps the people who are on the fence about taking the opportunity of sinning, okay? And so, and I'm going to use the Garden of Eden yet again for this, okay? Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden. The serpent comes to whom? Serpent came to Eve, okay, because the serpent knew that Eve was inclined to emotion and therefore was inclined to be manipulated. And so the serpent came and manipulated Eve. And Adam presumably knew what she was doing was wrong, and he actually stood back and watched the whole thing occur. And when I say stand between good and evil, Adam's job as a man is literally to get in between the serpent and the woman and say, no, don't do that. I'm here, my presence here should tell you that we are inclined to doing what's right, and we're going to do reasonable things, and we're not going to do evil things, and we're not going to offend God, because we're going to live our life directed towards God, not away from God. Now, Adam should stand between both good and evil. Eve is good. The serpent's evil. And therefore, when he stands between the two, he's a protector. So like, for example, the other things in life that you could do to stand between good and evil is you leave your light on in your house when you go out at night, because people who are predators will see that maybe potentially somebody's home and they don't want to get caught, and therefore this would dissuade people from breaking in your house. Another thing you want to do is if you hear, or if you see like a kind of shady looking group of characters walking on your street, you just kind of want to make yourself known and stand and like show that you're there, that you're the occupant of your house, and that you're capable of doing what's right in defense of the family. That your presence alone is enough to dissuade the opportunity. The criminals are opportunists, enough to dissuade the criminality or the temptation of evil towards other people. And if you do that, you can call yourself a man. And that's the way we want to orient ourselves in our lives. Like, we literally want to protect the people that need protection. That's what men do. And in terms of the Garden of Eden, we just stand between the devil and Eve. Let's say, hey, listen, she's my wife, and you're going to have to come through me first. And we're not going to let you, because you're not going to tempt me. Like, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be a reasonable dude, and you're not going to tempt me. Much like if somebody takes a gun out on the street and puts it in a lady's face, or a knife or something like that, you physically just want to stand between the two and say, No, you're not going to do that because you have to go through me first. And game on, you could get hurt and all sorts of other things. But that's how heroes are made. That's what protectors do. They put themselves at risk for the protection of others. And your job as a man is to protect the weak, the children in your family, protect them spiritually and morally, and also protect your wife spiritually and morally. And therefore, by the way, because most men in society today, I think, have fallen down in terms of their spiritual vocations, their formation, their spiritual formation. Therefore, you as a man, if you want to stand between good and evil, you have to prepare yourself to stand between good and evil. And I've been talking about this the last couple of videos, that you have to know what's right and wrong is. So you have to study, the principles of the church. You have to understand the obedience of the church. You have to understand, the moral teachings of the church. You have to understand, or that you have to be physically capable to stand between good and evil. So you have to take care of your body and your heart and your soul. You have to have courage to say no when somebody says yes. You have to, you have to be able to stand there, and you have to be able to take the heat, but you have to be able to just, your presence, your physical presence amongst your wife and your children and your family should be good enough to keep evil out of your house. That's what a man should be inspire himself to be, or be inclined to be. That's what we should strive for as men, is that dad's home, evil's no longer going to happen. It's not allowed in this house. And I don't mean be a tyrant, go around and stomp out all bad behavior. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying is, if bad things come into your house, whether via the internet or via some sales get the door, or via, you name it, or via bad influence to the kids through school or something like that, that we literally, our presence is enough to stop that person, and we don't have to do anything else. And that's a commanding presence. And granted, not every man could have it, but every man should try to be it. And if every man does things in his life to orient himself to being have the commanding presence, to literally just stand between good and evil and not allow it to touch those he's in care of and trusted with, every man will become better. And every man can be better. Not every man can be Thor. Not every man can be the Hulk. Not every man, but every man can make himself better than what he was yesterday. And so that means getting your life in order, man. It means sleeping better. It means eating better. It means exercising. It means, becoming like a physical specimen. But it also means reading and studying theology and studying the principles of the church. But it also means submitting to the church. It also means living a sacramental life. It also means being obedient and submitting to the church that Christ gave us. That's what it means. And then if you do that, you literally are a force of good in this world, meaning you're just standing between good and evil. And if you want the Garden of Eden story, it's this, is you literally just place yourself between the serpent and Eve. That's what you do, the serpent and your wife. And you don't allow people to spiritually attack those you're in charge, or that you're put in charge of the care of. And you don't allow them to physically attack them. You don't allow them. You're literally the protector and the provider. And that's what a man should be. So Catholic men, don't let the criminality, the criminals are opportunists. Don't let them be able to get by you. Don't let them be able to deceive you. And if you see them doing it to you, have the courage to say no. Hey, you're not going to do that. Like, I'm the man of this family. I'm not going to allow such things. Oh, really? You're not going to allow it? What about this? No. I mean, the answer is no. That's all it is. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and fight over allowing evil in this house. All I'm going to say is no. And that's the end of it. So, well, anyway, this is Catholic Dad making you think about it. Please like or subscribe. Get the Mass. Pray the Daily Rosary. Share with your friends if you like this. I see we just hit the 100 mark on subscribers. Boy, it took a long time. But maybe we'll start rocking and rolling from here. So if you do want to share with your friends, that'd be great. Okay, well, take care. God bless you. And get to Mass today. It's a holy day of obligation. If you didn't get the confession, then get to Mass next week. God bless you all.